In this video we're going to show you how you can add a chart wheel to the title cover page of any of your I/O Interpreter reports. We already have our I/O Interpreter open. We're going to use Solar Return as an example. I've selected Eric Clapton from the list of musicians. I'm going up to the top to Returns, selecting Solar Return. My setup window opens with Eric's natal chart and his nearest solar return. And I'm simply going to take the first step, click the Interpret button, and I have my interpretation. And we'll want to save this in a format that allows us to pull it into your preferred word processing program and edit it and add a chart, whatever we'd like to do to it. So we'll do that in just a few moments. Next thing we're going to do is select a chart wheel. Now, as you know, under Designs, Cover Pages, there is a page with a chart wheel or graph as appropriate for each program. Now you could use this chart wheel if you'd like. It's a single wheel. It is the solar return for Eric Clapton. Some people would like to have a bi-wheel. They'd like to show the natal chart and the solar return chart. The choice is yours. You can do this, what I'm about to show you, with any chart wheel in the program. So we'll use this one right now, and the first thing we want to do is save the report, as I said, in a format that will allow us to bring it into our word processing program. So I'm going to go to File, click Save. And we want to save in a format that's going to preserve the text formatting, the paragraph styles and everything else. So we can choose either RTF or Microsoft Word, which will also, the document will also open in Pages, or pretty much any other word processing program, retaining the format. We'll check Rich Text. We're going to save it on the desktop so that we can access it quickly. And there it is. And we no longer need this report, so we'll close that. The next thing we want to do is save our chart wheel in the proper format. Now, we probably don't want all this information because it'll be redundant for the most part. You could insert it just as is, as a separate page, or you can do what I'm about to do, just the chart wheel. First thing we want to do is make sure graphics layout has a check mark next to it. This gets us access to all the components, all the graphic components of the page, and we're going to delete them. An important step before I close, and I'll talk about it in a moment. Let's center this and let's enlarge it some. Get that wheel as big as we can. Okay, see, as it gets near the borders, it tells you can't do that because your printer won't print it properly. So okay, now we want to save this as a graphic. So we'll go to File again. We're going to select Export, and you see that we have a choice of a JPEG. We're going to click JPEG. Let's name this Clapton SR chart. And we're going to put it on the desktop so that we can use it again in a moment. And we're going to save. And there we have. So important, you don't want to leave this design like this. Most likely you want the information back on it for use at a later date. So when you click to close it, you don't want to save your changes, and when you go back up to open it again, you see that everything is retained. That's a very important step. Now that I'm going to save, so we'll close this. I'll save, recentering that, and we no longer need this program. We're finished with it. So we'll quit the I/O Interpreter, and then we'll go down and we will open Pages. I could obviously open this one of two ways. I could go to the report and select it, or I can go to Pages and open it. Let's do it the other way. Let's go back the other way. Now see, I right click. If you can't right click, you'd want to open your word processing program first. I'm going to select Open With, and its program's going after Options. And even Apple messes up because they don't have, oh, they do. I messed up. Let's do this right. Open With, Pages. There we go. I had my cursor on the JPEG. So Pages will open the document. And the first thing we want to do is make room for our JPEG. So we're going to click and just hit return and get all this information into the next page. Come back up here and determine where we want things here and the size that we want them. We'll just leave everything pretty much as it is. We'll move created by down, give ourselves room for the chart wheel. Now you may have to play with this a bit and play around with your sizes and so on, and then all we have to do is drag this chart wheel onto the page, move it into position, and we want to make it as large as we can, of course. Now if I wanted to move these around, make them smaller, eliminate any information, I can obviously take the chart wheel and make it larger. So let's do that. Let's see what we have. Oh, we're going to have to take the size down a bit. Let's go to 18, 14, 18, oops, and move him up here so we can shrink all of this. Let's take this down a little bit smaller so we're not shouting at people. Let's take 14, and of course this would not be here, that would be your information. Let's move this down. Oops, one too many. And take the chart wheel up. Now if you have a graphics program, you could also take this in quickly and just eliminate the page background, but saving it as a JPEG saves the entire image. So there we have it, and we just save it. And let's save it as a PDF as we would normally for emailing. So we selected print, save as PDF. You saw that it had a name there already. I just wanted to shorten it for my own purposes. Save it to the desktop, and there we have it. And that all took maybe 5 minutes. So there you have it, and you can attach the PDF, of course, to an email and send it out. And let's shrink down. So there you have your chart and your report, and all of that took about 5 or 6 minutes. Once you've done it a couple times, it'll be even faster. You'll know what you're doing and how to set these things up. So I hope this helps you with your desire to add a chart wheel to the title page. Again, remember that you do have a cover page that you can include as a separate document. Some astrologers do not want to include the chart, they just want the client reading the report. So that's completely up to you. And we're finished. Thank you very much.